GWATA TV gives you a first look at North Central Washington's business news. You'll hear from our local business, tech, and education companies as Jenny discusses hot topics and current events with some of the best innovators and pioneers in North Central Washington.
Hello, North Central Washington, and welcome to GWATA TV. I'm your host, Jenny Rojanasatian, and it's a pleasure to be with you today. On today's episode of GWATA TV, we're going to talk about career-connected learning. First, we're going to watch a video that GWATA produced earlier this year that highlights the story and the importance of career-connected learning and the Columbia Basin. We worked with economic development partners, industry, and education to talk about some of the great work that's happening specifically in Grant and Adams County. After that, we're going to bring on air Stela from Chemi-Con to talk about why her company got involved in this work and how you can get involved too. It's going to be a really great and important episode on GWATA TV, so I'll hope you stay tuned through this video and immediately following, come back after commercial break.
The Columbia Basin connects over 87,000 square miles of steep river canyons and extensive plateaus. It's home to farming towns, manufacturing hubs, high-tech data centers, and communities with deep-rooted family ties to the region.
We have 5 industry sectors in the Columbia Basin. Obviously, ag is our backbone along with food processing. And then we have the data centers in the Quincy Valley area. We have large manufacturing clusters throughout the county. And then we've also got an emerging aerospace industry.
If you look at the entire Adams County demographic, we are ag, food processing, government, and healthcare. And so that hasn't evolved, but what has evolved is the types of skills necessary for these entities to continue to meet their production demand.
Washington's economy is booming, and by 2021, there will be 740,000 new jobs that are high-skilled and high-paying. But companies across the state are quickly realizing they cannot find the right employees who will meet those workforce demands.
Business here is exploding at the Port of Mose Lake and in our surrounding region. For the last 2.5 years, we've been working really hard to address a lot of our workforce issues.
At J.R. Simplot here in Othello, we have a high need for electrical and maintenance type technicians, PLC technicians. We have a large number of employees that have been at this facility for 30, 40 years, and we're going to be coming up on a lot of retirement soon, so those high-skilled positions are going to be in high demand.
For the past few years, partners across the Columbia Basin have been working to close the gap between students in the region and local industry.
So being a growing business, an organization, it's important for us to work with these younger people to help develop them. They are the future of the workforce, especially in this community. And helping to develop our future talent is going to be critical to help these young people understand that they don't need to leave Moses Lake to get a good job, to get a good paying job. There's great paying jobs right here in Moses Lake with many companies, not necessarily just SGL.
3 years ago, the conversation in Othello was that there wasn't a strong relationship between our employers and the K-12 system.
Educators and industry professionals are now teaming up to light the way for students. Every year, Othello hosts a full day of career exploration for more than 1,500 students at the Othello Career Showcase.
We recognize this need to fill the food processing jobs that are out there, and it started as our big employers kind of coming together saying, our students are our clientele and our future, so what can we do to promote these jobs and the awareness that they even exist.
And the idea is to start to build a picture for students to understand These are the skills you need if you want to be a machine operator. These are the skills you need if you want to be a registered nurse. If you want to continue your life in Othello or return to Othello where you were raised after you get your education, there are fantastic family wage jobs available in the Othello community, and you just need to know where to look, and so we're helping with that.
We're just trying to broaden their world a little bit. To me, it's like, who better to take care of our community in the future than our kids and our families that were raised here. So if they go out and know what they need to do to get their education, however it is, and come back and start a new business or work in healthcare, work in education, that's a win. That's a win because they're the ones who care the most about our community.
In 2018, Washington State Governor Jay Inslee announced CareerConnect Washington, a plan to build awareness, exploration, and preparation opportunities for students to find their way to family wage careers. Washington State has invested in building regional networks to expand career-connected learning for all students. In the Columbia Basin, a passionate, dedicated group of stakeholders have come together to connect youth with local industry. Together, the Workforce Alliance is committed to ensuring that all youth in the region are aware of the careers in their hometowns.
There has been a gap between our educational system and the industry, but we're very excited with CareerConnect moving forward. We've made some huge strides this past year of making those connections, getting teachers into industries, getting the industries into the schools, and showing the parents and students the opportunities that are here in Grant County.
I think it's really important for school to really show what you should be using your things you're learning in, because a lot of stuff you're learning, I guess, it plays a big role in certain jobs, and connecting those two together is really important.
The whole purpose of career-connected learning is to find those pathways and connect the kids to them so that they can have a better opportunity in life than they would have if they tried to do it on their own.
Local manufacturers, food processors, and ag companies have begun to invite the community into their businesses through tours and apprenticeships.
I didn't know exactly what SGL did, I kind of just knew they were here, but the tour just shows you every step of the process and exactly what they do and how it makes a difference and what they use it for.
It's been a rewarding experience for everybody here at SGL to be able to have these tours, have the apprentices here. They help bring a new life and a new light to us. And yes, it was a little bit of extra work to set this up and work with career-connected learning, but in the end, it's going to benefit us, and it's going to benefit us for years to come as we continue to have tours, we continue to have a community outreach, as we continue to develop that relationship with the students and with the parents of this community to develop our future staff.
I think it's really interesting that a lot of stuff in Moses from SGL particularly is used across, pretty much everywhere. I think it's pretty cool that stuff from your local town is used in like big name companies like BMW and other carbon fiber consumers.
The return on investment for the career-connected learning for me and for Simplot is really going to be when we can bring some of these students who have learned about the company in their youth. Either they go to trade school or they go to four-year college or they come right out of high school and they come here and they learn that they can have a great career here at Simplot.
Career-Connected Learning is Chemi-Con's baby. We're in it. We're in it. We are not leaving. We will be a part of it next year. I want to see more companies joining us. I'm hoping more doors will open and that others will get to realize what a benefit it is. Not only are we giving back to our community, not only are we helping these students see what's potential out there, but it got us excited too.
But this is just the beginning of the journey. More resources are needed, and more partners are needed.
There have to be a lot of stakeholders involved. It's a fairly heavy lift, and if one segment of that ecosystem is not at the table, then we're not successfully going to complete our goals. And we need everyone. We need all the voices, the perspectives, the skill sets, and the backgrounds to make a really good case to help students find the right path and to help employers find the right employee.
We have proven that it works, and the opportunities here in front of you to be a part of dynamically changing all of our communities for the better. And the career-connected learning that we've been running down into the schools is really, really a game changer for our region.
I'd like to have a career in Moses. I grew up here, kind of just the people. I know everybody. I know a lot of people in Moses, and it's kind of just one big family pretty much, so I don't really want to leave this area.
Career-connected learning is an opportunity to make life better for our future. I'm going to retire someday. Who's going to replace me? I'd like to think that it's somebody that we've shown a facility to. That's an ultimate dream for me to hear someday that somebody like Travis is suddenly the production manager. I'd love to hear that. And we have that opportunity. We can do that.
Welcome back to GWATA TV. I'd like to introduce our guest today, Stela Heuschkel, HR Manager at Chemi-Con.
That's right.
Welcome to GWATA TV.
Thanks, Jenny. This is awesome.
It's so fun to have you here. I've had the opportunity to visit you at your workplace and see what's happening at Chemi-Con. But for those who may not be familiar, tell us, what is Chemi-Con? Where are you located?
We're located in Moses Lake, Washington, not too far from here.
Right.
And we're a manufacturer of electrolytic aluminum foil, right? Make it longer. It's the foil that's used inside of capacitors to help your cell phone run, the lights work.
So a critical component.
Oh, it's all over your house. All over your house. Your car, if it's a hybrid especially, yeah.
And you're a fairly large operation. Chemi-Con, how many?
We're medium. There's approximately 80 employees.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And how long have you been out in Moses Lake?
Oh gosh, the company has been out in Moses Lake for about 24 years. We're about to hit our 25th.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And really have some incredible community roots in Moses Lake. You're really passionate about supporting especially career pathways.
Yes.
And our audience had a chance to see a little bit of that in the video.
Cool.
Highlighting those career pathways. But tell me from your perspective, why are you getting involved with career-connected learning?
Sure.
As maybe an individual and also through Chemi-Con.
Sure. As an individual, I've raised my children in Moses Lake, and we didn't seem to give them the opportunities that they needed to get themselves plugged into jobs they wanted. One of my kids went to college 4 years, all that expense, to find out it wasn't what she wanted, and she started over. So personally, I wanted to make that change. But also, as a company and as HR, we're always complaining that we need more workforce. We need more people. Well, we have more people. Let's just train them when they're younger so they can make those choices for themselves, whether they want to work in a business or they want to go to college. I know most 18-year-olds I know don't know really what they want to do.
And that's kind of the background for this work that's happening through Apple STEM and career-connected learning, is that exposure piece, right? Because here you have 80 employees in the Moses Lake region, but people may not even know that you exist.
Right.
Especially the youth coming up through high school.
That's very true, yes.
So tell me a little bit about some of the programs you've started to change that.
All right, so we've got a group together in Moses Lake trying to get into the school districts, working with CTE directors. We've been inviting students and teachers in, CTE directors, into our facilities and giving them tours of what we do, explaining how our equipment works, and showing these folks what they could do as a future in our company. along with the other business partners that are doing it at their offices as well. It's been exciting, so exciting.
You know, you're one of those individuals in this group who's just like the cheerleader. You're so excited, you're so passionate, your energy is infectious, and I appreciate that. Can you tell us about some of the personal successes that Chemi-Con has seen through these industry tours with your employees and then bringing on?
Sure.
Yeah.
With our employees, we've done these tours, and I always get our employees involved. And they're like pumped after they've talked with these students and remembered why they love their jobs. You know, because they get to see it through fresh eyes and somebody who's doing the whole, ooh, wow, that's cool, I didn't know. You know, so they get all rejuvenated in their jobs. I've been able to take one of our employees, he's been working very closely with me, doing the tours, showing the students some of the stuff that, he's an electrician, so some of the stuff he can do with our equipment because of his skills that he learned at our facility. I mean, he wasn't an electrician when he started, but we've trained him. And those opportunities are out there for all the students. They just have to find the job that's right for them and get started.
I think you highlighted a really key point, which is the opportunity for on-the-job training, and then also for some of this, the apprenticeship, the pathways into some really technical, high-skilled trades.
Yes.
Let's talk about your need for tradespeople.
We're always looking for electricians.
Okay.
Electricians are hard to get, especially for those who want to just stay in one place. If you want to join the union, yes, go for it. It's good money. But in our facilities, you're looking at staying in the same town, you don't have a lot of travel, all sorts of benefits, and a chance to work with a group of people that you really get to know well. At our company, it's 80 employees, and yet we all know each other. We know a little bit about each other because we've managed to stay small town. And that's one of the benefits we can offer these students. They're going to come into a place where everybody probably already knows them or will know them.
You know, that family environment,
yes,
that small town, but with big opportunity. I think that's the key. Some of the students we've talked to, that really resonates for them because they would like to maybe pursue a 2-year or 4-year degree option or go into an apprenticeship, but they want to have a job in North Central Washington.
Right.
They don't want to leave to another area, and places like Chemi-Con is really inviting that.
Well, we have one student that did 2 tours in our company, 2 separate tours because he was pumped. And after that second tour, an opening happened. And that young man is still with us, he's working with us, and he started asking about, okay, so if I take this job, then I can go to school? Yeah, and we'll help pay for it.
Right.
You know, it's been awesome. It's cool to watch somebody grow and to know that all you did was support them. You know, it's not like we're building new bridges. We're doing what we can where we're at.
Well, one of the things that you've been really passionate about is wanting to see more companies participate. Tell me why. Why is more participation important to you?
Well, you've got to figure out how many kids are in that high school, just the high school alone. Most of them will not go to college. There's a lot of businesses in our area that our students, if they could get into those facilities to find out what they do, they'll see the opportunities that are out there. Like you said earlier, most of them don't know Chemi-Con's there. They know our next door neighbor, but they don't know us. We're a small company. It doesn't do anything, you know, sparkly outside the facility. So when they get a chance to see more of these companies, they realize that there's so many opportunities right in our backyard. So many opportunities to stay at home, stay with all their friends, and still get a good paying job that has benefits that mom and dad aren't going to worry about them anymore. And mom and dad get to know, okay, my sweetheart is staying here. It's a plus all the way around.
Well, and as you said just a second ago, the possibility to have continuing education, tuition reimbursement. So there's also a pathway for college should that individual want to pursue that going forward.
Correct.
Now, getting into the schools, you've been putting in a lot of work, doing these tours. What is your advice for a company who's considering getting involved? You know, can be a change to start inviting students into the workplace. you're in an environment where you're doing manufacturing. So obviously there's safety concerns, I'm sure security. What are some of the considerations you had to look at?
So some of the considerations, we're very high electricity, so of course that's a concern. We actually invited L&I in to walk through our facility and tell us where is it safe to bring children under 18. And they were so open to it because they want to see this happen as well. When we first started, minimum wage was for jobs like at McDonald's. You know, it was an entry-level job. We really don't have entry-level jobs anymore. So these students have got to get into these companies to see what's available to them, to see what is the potential for them later. So we can open up, we get these tours going, we show the students what's available. We get the CTE directors in so that they can see how they might align some of their training with what we do. And that, it makes all the difference. The more employers we get involved, the more students we can get involved, the less HR can complain that our workforce is dwindling.
Right. And that ultimately is, it's key for the economy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If Chemi-Con cannot get talent locally, that's going to affect your ability to grow, along with all of the companies in Moses Lake and across our region. So there's a real economic driver behind supporting students.
Most definitely.
Not only is it the right thing to do, right? But it's also good for business.
It is good for business, and they're our future. Right. I mean, I'll retire out of the system here in another 10 years or so, and there's got to be somebody following up behind me to continue the work. Why not start looking in those high school and middle schools and start developing that talent now? You never know who we're going to find out there. I mean, that young man that we hired, he's been exceptional. He's got a couple of managers looking at him. So the future's there as long as you apply it.
I love that success story, Stella. It's incredible, and I want to thank you for all of the hard work you've put into the workforce development, the career-connected learning.
My pleasure.
You've really been a leader. If people want to learn more, what are your recommendations for getting connected?
If they want to know more, they're more than welcome to call Chemi-Con, and I'd love to talk to them, or they can call Apple STEM in Wenatchee, and somebody there can help them and direct them as to where we're at or what's going on in this town.
And then if they're looking for a career at Chemi-Con, come visit you in person on site at the location.
Yeah, give me a visit or call me. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for coming on air with us today. Stella is a huge example of the passion we have in our region. So thank you for all of your work. We do have to head to a commercial break, but please stay tuned. We'll be back in just a minute. I want to thank you for joining us on today's episode of GWATA TV. It was so important to us to show the story of career-connected learning in the Columbia Basin and throughout North Central Washington. As you heard from Stella at Chemi-Con, there are employers across the region who are really passionate about supporting students. If you'd like to get involved, we'd love to hear from you. Reach out to us on the Apple STEM Network website or at GWATA. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Since 1999, GWATA has served as North Central Washington's Tech Alliance. As a 501c3, our mission is to bring people and technology resources together to create a thriving community. Through our work, we aim to inspire, engage, and connect.